We all have been there, frustrated and powerless against fear. We want to talk to that cute girl, start a new business, present our ideas to others, but fear paralyzes us. We feel trapped in our own head without being able to do anything about it until we mentally give up. What if I told you there is a way for you to conquer your fears? Hi, I'm Daniel and welcome back. As somebody who struggled with fear most of my life, I had read tons of books and watched countless of hours of content related to fear, how to overcome it, how to conquer, and how to live a more fulfilling and happier life. I created a 5-step process that have helped me a ton, and today I'm sharing with you those 5-step process. Step number 1, recognize the fear. Recognize and be aware of the fear you're feeling, and that is completely normal and natural. Welcome that fear. Don't try to hide it, don't try to ignore it. What you resist persists, and if you try to ignore your fear, it's always going to be there. You need to welcome it, you need to own your fear, because it's just fear. But by the first step, by recognizing that you have a fear, it is easy to address and to understand where that fear is coming from. Step number 2, reframing. The perception we have of fears is the negative side of it, never the positive. So we always think about fear or things that we need to do or things that we don't want to do because we're afraid of. So it's all negative, but we need to focus on the gains. By focusing on the gain, by using fears instead of something negative as something positive. If I have fear, that means there is something new. If I fear, that means that whatever I'm about to do in my life, I'm gaining experience, I'm gaining knowledge, I'm gaining information. Even if we fail, even if we don't do well, even if we want to talk to a cute girl and we are afraid of being embarrassed, we're afraid of being awkward, we're afraid of being rejected. But even with that interaction, whether it went bad or whether it goes bad or good, we learn from experience. We have new information, we have new knowledge, and we can do better next time. So reframe. Look fears as something positive. Look at the gains rather than the negative. Step number 3, focus on the upside, almost never on the downside. We as humans, we tend to focus too much on the downside. If I want to talk to somebody I'm attracted to, my fears are being rejected, my fears of feeling awkward, be embarrassed, feel ashamed. But that's all the downside, and that is all possible. But we never look at the upside. Oh, that person might be attracted to me as well, or I might have a nice conversation, or this person might think I'm nice and he or she might like me. So that's the upside. Same thing if I'm thinking about opening a business or starting my own business, the downside is that, oh, I'm going to fail, I'm going to lose my job security I have right now, I'm going to lose my benefits. If I think about the negatives, if I think about the downside, there's a no-brainer. There's no one will do anything if they only see the downside. But if you look at the upside by starting your own business, that means that the upside is I can make a living doing something that I love, doing something that I'm passionate about, which is a lot better. The upside is much, much greater than the downside of, well, I failed, but at least you tried. Step number 4, take action. But those actions, do it in small steps. Don't try to do this overnight, to try to change and to overcome and conquer fear overnight. Start with small steps. An easy example is if you have social anxiety like me, or if you have trouble talking to guys or girls, instead of trying to overcome and trying to talk to that person in particular, start talking to anybody else. Start creating conversations, a small talk with any person that you come across with. It could be old, young, male, female, doesn't matter. But once you start doing that, once you start getting momentum of things that you feel confident about, and by the time you see that person you really want to talk to, you already have the experience, have the knowledge, and have the confidence that I can talk to the person, and the fear, even though it's always going to be there, but it's but it's no longer going to control you. It's going to be much milder than if you didn't do that. The same with the business. If you're thinking about opening a business, start opening some Instagram account or TikTok account or Twitter account. Start creating the concept. Start working in small things on your business until you feel confident to take the big step, quitting your job and working on your business. Step number 5 is based on a book I read. Feel the fear, because you're gonna feel it, and do it anyway. And that book, by the way, is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. An amazing book. It changed my perspective or the perspective I had on fear, and I read it twice already. It goes more into depth of what I'm talking about, and I have even more information. But it's an excellent book, and you have to do it. You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel paralyzed, but you still need to do it. You still need to take actions now. Truth to be told, the system is not perfect. I could be confident. I could be confident in other areas of my life, but there's still some areas I haven't fully conquered my fear. And I'm still a long way to go, but I have proof of concept of how this technique, these steps, this process has helped me overcome other fears in my life. Even now making this video, it took me years to start creating content that I was passionate about, and yet here I am having some fear but doing anyway. And my fear has become less and less over time because I've taken action, because I feel confident. And don't beat yourself up if the fear still dominates you. It's a process. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes work. But trust me, you'll get there. So to wrap things up, number 1, recognize, be aware of the fear, welcome it, own it. Number 2, reframe fear. Look at it as something to gain, not something to lose. If you feel fear about something, it's something new, something you're not used to it, which means that whatever you're about to do is all good experience and knowledge that you're getting from that. Number 3, focus on the upside rather than the downside. We tend to look at the negative thing, we tend to look at the worst case scenario, but we don't tend to look to the things that might make it worth it. So look at the upside rather than the downside. Number 4, take action, but do it in small steps. And start building up your confidence, start building up your experience and your skills in order for you to start overcoming fear little by little. And number 5, which is just an action, would be feel the fear, because you're gonna feel it, and do it anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this information useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.